Time's up, I done touchdown. I'm high stepping for the touchdown. I stay repping for the slums where the young bucks started loaded up just to bust rounds. I'm steady having flashbacks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AFC South Fan Baller Podcast. I'm your host today, Matthew Briggs. Sam is out doing her nails and, treating hashtag teen hate to the good life. So she's taking the night off. So before we get started, let me introduce you to our lovely guest tonight. Tonight we got the number one Titans hater, the number one RJ Ellison hater. We got Mr. Christopher Jackson for the Colts.
Listen, I don't do this because it's fun. I do this because I have to. And also, hello everybody.
And then all the way from Utah with his 6 sister wives, we got the Titans. OnlyMormons.com. We got Jon Ha.
That's right. Everybody's favorite Titans fan is here.
That's right, including mine.
Unanimous. 100% approval rating.
And then just fresh out of the Mashad parlor, down there in Houston, we got our boy Justin Palmer joining us for the Texans today.
Shoot. Hey, the massage is the only type of winning we doing this season, so hey, get the massage on, baby. Shoot.
Hey, I mean, listen.
Hey, as many we can rub out, that's what we need to do, bro.
Oh man.
Hey, well, in the words of a great philosopher, I count that as a win.
Oh, well, let's start off with some NFL news. I mean, it's terrible, but it's NFL news. Before we start, I'm going to say we don't condone this. If you know anybody who has participated in this, please call your local law enforcement. There's hotlines everywhere. Like, this is no laughing matter. So I believe it was Saturday. The story broke out that Markevius Mingo, sadly again, a former Houston Texan, was charged with solicitation to a minor. The story was that he took out his nephew or cousin and a friend and had a whole shopping spree on the 4th of July 2019. Did the whole thing, took him to a cabin, and then sadly he did something he wasn't supposed to. Again, we don't condone this. No joke. So, Justin, as a Texan fan, what's your thoughts?
I hate hearing these things with the Texans, man. It's more bad news that's just going on with this team right now. It's another possible distraction this team this year. Luckily, he's no longer on our roster, but it's just, with the whole situation that's going on, all that QB and all that, it's just hearing guys in the NFL go on and get themselves in trouble like that, dude. It's sickening, man. It's sad. It really is, man.
John?
Yeah, it's nothing good. There's not much you really can say. I don't think it's controversial to say that it's I think he was with Atlanta, right? That's what I was reading before.
Yeah.
He was, and
well, yeah.
Good thing they cut him. Not.
Yeah. So let's hope justice is served, and everybody can recover wherever they can. It's no joke. It's a terrible thing.
No doubt. Wise words, Chris.
I mean, honestly, I hope they throw the book at him and give him the time, like put him under. Like it's not just for that. It's just like it's a heinous act, absolutely. But I mean, you've basically affected somebody for life. So now it's just like that's
not just that. Like the innocence of a child is the most important thing.
Exactly.
And when you do something like that, you take that innocence away from them.
Exactly.
You totally just it's a terrible subject.
And I mean, just we can just move on completely. But I mean, like I said, it's just like prayers for the family of the person who was involved, and I hope he's gone for good.
It's not a good thing, but it's a positive thing that he's in Texas because they don't take that stuff lightly.
Nope.
So if he's probably gonna get the book thrown at him. So and other NFL moving on, other NFL news, Frank Clark will soon be facing the judge on his 2 counts of an unregistered weapon. They are talking 3 years in prison. Does he go? Does he get out of it? Let me know.
Oh no!
You go first, because listen. I'm gonna roast this guy to death.
It's just I mean, I think you're about to probably say the same thing I'm about to, man. I don't understand how you are that damn rich and you can't register a rifle unit. What the hell, man? I'm like, it's Pesco Burris rewritten. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on, these are brave.
Yeah, at least he didn't shoot himself, huh?
Yeah, I'll give him that. At least he didn't shoot his leg off. At least he survived that, but just Jesus, man. I mean, you guys make a good salary. There's no reason not to have your gun not registered, dude. Like, I mean, it don't make no sense to me, dude. Chris, you go ahead, buddy.
No, I'll leave it to John, because I'm listen, I'm gonna kill him.
Oh man, he about to really roast this man.
I don't have anything other than any controversial. I mean, look, it's just you got to be smart. You're in a position where you are privileged in a lot of ways. Like when you're a professional athlete, you can get away with a lot of things, but guess what? The fall is really hard when you mess up like that. So don't be stupid.
True that.
So I read about this. I read about it. He had an Uzi in the car. An Uzi. Now the thing is, I don't know exactly where he is, but he had an Uzi.
California.
In he was in California. He had an Uzi in a Lamborghini truck. Now, if there's any direct contradictions to one another, you have an Uzi, which is an assault weapon that's generally not used by people who drive Lamborghini trucks. Your truck is $218,000. At what point do you really believe, or where are you that you believe you need to use an Uzi? Or matter of fact, how high are you where you really think that you need to just go ahead and just have this in the car for safekeeping? Like,
it's an image thing. That's all it is. It's more like it's.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's money spending. You know what I mean? It's flashy. That's all it is.
And so to that, I mean, honestly, I hope he goes to prison. I'm like you, like just not just for that, but his stupidity makes him a danger to everybody on Mountain.
Oh,
like, I mean, this guy, he just got paid last year, or I think it was last year or the year before last. He just got paid recently, and he got paid very, very well. And so the thing is, it's just like, if you're going to have that, okay, you have it registered, or even if for some reason you don't have it registered, you have the means to be able to put yourself in a position where you're not where somebody can go and get to you, where you have to use that. If you're using it for recreation, then fine. But your own stupidity is about to cost you millions upon millions. And then on top of that, in order for you to make sure that you don't go to jail, you're going to have to pay a bunch of extra millions to your lawyer to make sure that they don't do that. So guess what? Why? You are a danger to society because you're stupid. Like, you could have literally just played your game and gone home, but you're riding around with an Uzi and a Lamborghini truck. You are a walking contradiction. I don't get it. It's dumb. Like, it's just absolutely dumb. Like, that's why I like guys like Larry Fitzgerald. You know what he does? He goes home. He reads books.
He buys the Phoenix Suns.
Yes, he part owns the Phoenix Suns, and they hear this guy driving around with like a $500 or $600 gun in a $218,000 car, and then you wonder why you get pulled over.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say something, and it might rub the wrong way. It might not, but
that's just Sean Watson.
Oh, Jesus.
Good one. I like that one. The good one. But first off, he didn't do it once. He done it twice. He did one in March and did one in June. So you would figure he learned the lesson the first time. So you do it twice. So everybody has this, especially white people. And that's one thing I hate about us Caucasians is they have this stereotype in their mind that only thugs come out of football. The ones that play football is nothing but thugs. I hate it. I hate that stereotype because it's not true. But you got idiots like Frank Clark who does stupid stuff like this to give those people that ammo. Like, come on, man. Like that's not helping your cause. It's not. I mean,
I mean, the thing is, it's a sport that's inundated, and like I said, going back to the thing that we talked about before, I think for something like this, it's just like there is a certain stigma that comes along with the NFL as a whole.
Yeah, that's
and so, but that's all the more reason why you'll have a guy like Frank Clark and his stupidity, his story gets boosted, and then you have guys that have done it right for their whole entire careers, never had a run-in with the law once, and you never hear about them. And the thing is, I'm almost willing to bet that there's more of those guys than there are of the Frank Clarks of the NFL. But
100%.
We're never going to hear about them because, I mean, they don't generate buzz.
We're not going to get into much because we can go on and on. But it's the same thing as the Colin Kaepernick. Instead of spinning it the right way, they manipulate the narrative and turn it into a whole,
narrative got hijacked. Yeah, that was
right.
Oh
so
man, that's
I agree with you. The media is the biggest problem.
Yeah, but narrative. Yeah, it got hijacked in a time where it's like that was probably
none of Colin Kaepernick's charity donations was brought up. None of his stances were brought up. That's why, just like you said about Larry Fitzgerald, nobody knew he owned the Phoenix Suns. Because why? Because he's striving. Nobody wants that. They don't want to hear that.
Because he doesn't like.
They want to hear about Josh Gordon getting high. They want to hear about Frank Clark toting machine guns. They don't care. So yeah. Before I get an irate,
we have a fascination with the fall from grace.
Exactly.
We like to watch it. It's like watching the train wreck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So moving on, we'll jump on to the Texans. Kind of kept this quiet, so I get reaction from everybody. It was breaking. I'm not going to tell y'all who my source is because I don't do that. But it came out that the Texans known about Deshaun Watson. That Deshaun Watson's camp was the ones setting up the meetings. And Amy, I can't ever say her last name correct, but Amy Palekic, she was the former PR for the Houston Texans, covered up Deshaun Watson's legal problems. Joe Brady was the head coach until he found out about Deshaun Watson and backed out. He was the head coach before Staley came in. He said yes, and then he found out about Deshaun Watson and said, nope, I'm out. Not touching this with 10 football. Y'all ain't get me caught up. So, Justin, your facial expression say everything. What's up with it, man? What do you think?
I just want to make sure Joe Brady was going to be the head coach of this team. If it wasn't
the Texans.
Wow. That I'm actually really shocked. I'm not shocked at the fact that the organization covered it up because they cover up a lot more things than that. I'm just shocked at the fact that, man, Joe Brady, really, that's the reason why we didn't get Joe Brady. And he was actually one of my top candidates to actually get this job. And I don't think there was a single Texas fan that wanted David Culley, but I was hoping, of course, Eric Bieniemy, Joe Brady, somebody fresh, somebody new, somebody that I think would bring some revolution, something revolution to the offense. But the fact that we lost Joe Brady on that absolutely sucks, man. Here's the thing. How much of the rest of the league knew about this, too? Was it just only the Texans that knew about this? Or is that the reason that they couldn't trade Deshaun? Because everybody else low-key knew about this legal trouble beforehand.
I can't tell you. I can't say that. But we had a guy at the presser when the lawyer of the women came out. And we had, and Busby, and we asked did the Texans know anything about it, and they flat out said no and moved on.
Wow.
Like.
But are you saying they lied?
Right.
Really?
The
the Texans, they lied to people?
Wait,
no.
Wait, guys, for dramatic effect.
Right.
Crazy.
But I'm saying is I don't know who else.
No.
But I don't know who else.
Oh no.
No, who else knows? I don't know if the NFL knew. But the same source said that there is and there was and still is interest from other teams for Deshaun Watson. So
Well,
I don't know.
So if you're anybody who actually watched this from the very beginning, like these teams know exactly what's going on. They know what's happening at all times. So they understand, a lot of what's happening. Like, it's just like, of course you have like the random legal stuff, but there's no way that you didn't know that this was happening when it was happening, because I mean, how could you not be aware, and then you're able to just go ahead and say, oh yeah, well, we don't know what's going on. It seemed like the head coach hiring wasn't necessarily the guy that would have been there, because honestly, it's just like the Texans, even though, I mean, you have to rebound from the shitty D-Hop trade, there's still a lot of potential there, and for a fact that your job is secured for at least 2 to 3 years, because that team is absolutely rebuilding. Like, it's not going to be like what they did with, Wilkes in Arizona, where they just had him for a year. He didn't do well. Then they brought in Cliff Kingsbury. That's not a transitional thing. I mean, the coach that you bring in is going to be the guy who's going to be there for the next few years, because, I mean, you see the rosters in flux, and there was a lot of bad moves done by Bill O'Butchin. So there was no way that was going to be, I think the Texans were in a much better position, but they fumbled the bag again. Like, it wasn't ideal.
Well, okay, like let's say you're Joe Brady, right? And people get into people are looking for coaching gigs, whatever, right? And some people are going to take a position at the Texans because, hey, head coaching positions don't come along all that often, and you want to take that opportunity when you can. But then there's also people who are kind of coaches where it's possible that, like, let's say you're Joe Brady and the potential to do something with Deshaun Watson is there. But then you find out that might not be there. Maybe that you back out. Some people wouldn't do that.
I would 110%. Especially when he said that he's not going to be the quarterback of the Texans.
Like that's appealing in and of itself, Deshaun Watson, to be able to coach that, because you could do something with that. But if it's not there, maybe it's not worth it.
Let's be honest. So let's take the Deshaun Watson fact out. Let's say that he is starting week 1. Let's say Joe Brady is our head coach. All these moves that Caserio did, the Texans got to be up there. I mean, they're fighting for third place or not for the division in the South. And they made some good moves. They revamped their offensive line. They got some good running backs. So, I mean, the defense is totally different. So
I've said that, like, as long as they have Deshaun Watson, they could conceivably win games. Now it doesn't look that way.
No, 100. I agree.
Yeah. Hey, somebody they have a couple people in the group. Well, one in particular says it is Easterby.
Well, then the whole Texas narrative too about Nick Caserio was that it was Jack Easterby had nothing to do with it. Well, same source said Jack Easterby is the one who wrote up the contract. It was Jack Easterby is the one who brought in Caserio. So, I mean, I'm still going to give him a chance. I mean, what else am I going to do?
Well, the good thing is Caserio actually made moves that we can be like, okay, as a football fan, we understand those moves. So, what he's done so far, what he's done makes sense. So that's why we're able to give him a chance at this point. But it's just
because like Chris said, I mean, Bill Skittles, he left the team with nothing. So you're gonna have to do something with nothing, and for what he's got, he's He's done a decent.
They've made an enormous amount of like veteran, like journeyman type signings.
For cheap, at that cheap. So
they've
all
done
1-2 year deals.
Well, Mark Ingram, who 2 years ago had a great year, got him for like what 600,000. I mean,
vet minimum.
Yeah, give it to me. You know, I'll take it. Philip Lindsay, I'll take it. You know?
I think it's been pretty clear that like 2021 is a throw it in the garbage kind of year. Is just try to like accrue some sort of capital, and they're going to go full steam ahead with 2022 is where they're going to really be looking to figure out their identity.
Yeah.
And if I'm the Texans, I'm doing everything that I can to see what you can do about Deshaun, just so that you can go ahead and trade him. Because I mean, no matter what, he's going to demand 2 first-round picks. That's just the type of player that he is. So I mean, you get rid of him, you have your picks for next year, you get 2 firsts for this upcoming draft. I mean, you can get a haul, and then just like that, it's just like the guys who proved themselves this year on the team, they'll be able to be re-signed. The guys who don't, they're on a 1-year deal anyway, so it's no harm, no foul. I mean, it's a team that's set up for failure for this year, but to absolutely be able to crush it the following year. But it's just a matter of what's going to happen with Deshaun.
Yeah, that's the biggest unknown. I think they need to figure out. They just need clarity on the Deshaun Watson factor. Once you know what's going to happen, you can really charge forward.
And it should be like that's why they brought in.
I promise I wouldn't do this, but can I ask you a question, Matt?
What's up? Yeah, I am. I accepted like the Jags.
Who is that?
It's
Who's
Sam.
That voice?
Knowing
Sam.
what you know.
It's Jesus. Go ahead.
Hello, John.
Oh, Lord.
Call me by your name.
That's awful.
7-7-9.
Messed up. Oh yeah, Justin, you better sing for us again tonight. But listen,
Sing for you.
Matt,
I don't want to get serenaded by a dude.
knowing what we know now, and knowing and hearing now that Deshaun Watson, they knew about it, and the team knew about what happened with Deshaun Watson. Do we think that this trade and the demands came after because maybe, hypothetically speaking, the team didn't back up Deshaun Watson, and he's like, fine, if you guys aren't going to back me up and believe me, then I want to go?
I mean, I can see that happening, but
once
your camp is the one who set up the meetings, that's kind of out of the. I mean, there's no way the Texans can back that up. I mean, it's all. I hate to say it, but it's his own fault. He should have had the Texans to set that up. That way, he said, "Hey, look, y'all are the ones who set me up. Y'all set me up for failure, not, you know what I mean." So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm moving on. Deshaun Watson's not my quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is.
Yeah. Well,
Spencer Rattler, 2022. So
I don't know. I'm liking Malik Willis a little bit better. I don't know.
Anybody's better than Tyrod Taylor. So
yeah, true.
It's going to be a long year.
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm still gonna come here to shit talk. It's not gonna stop. So, well, moving on to shit talking, the greatest shit talking team there is in the South. Chris, you got some news for the Colts?
I am honored. That is fantastic. There hasn't been much on just the Colts front. I think right now it's just kind of everybody getting their bearings. Having the opportunity to go and just like really dig in and practice this season, prior to the season, the way that we weren't able to last year because of COVID, has been very important, especially with Carson Wentz, kind of getting his bearings and, just getting a feel for the team. I mean, everybody's accepted it. Darius Leonard, of all people, who's like the heart and soul, I wouldn't say probably of the whole team. I mean, he's been raving about Carson Wentz, and, you don't get that type of endorsement just because, you're trying to have everybody buy into something. This is the same guy that said, don't come here unless you're ready to work. So, I mean, the fact that Darius Leonard's speaking so highly of him, even Quentin Nelson has been doing it. Like I said, it's been pretty positive. It's been so positive.
Did you fully expect them to come in and say negative things?
You know what? No, not negative. not negative.
They're only gonna say positive things.
No, because
that's the way you do it.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing, because they're not gonna say negative things. The one thing that you've seen like before is if there's a guy that comes in, then what can happen is they either absolutely have positive things to say about them, or they're just like, well, you know what, we're just going to see what happens. They're being like extremely just neutral about everything. Just be like, he's a cool guy. Got a chance to talk to him for a little while today. And, seems like everything's good. So, like I said, we'll see what happens. But, like I said, there's been nothing but, guys just raving about who he is in terms of character and everything else. So, I mean, it is what it is. And then, people start buying into it. I think the only news that I've seen this week is pretty much Todd Gurley having a visit with Indy, which I understand it. It's just like kind of like kicking the tires, seeing where he's at. We have about 37 running backs. So, we would have 38. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's just like that's pretty much the only news. I mean, in terms of Todd Gurley, it's just like he's not who he was previously. But then again, nobody's going to ask him to have, 10 catches and 35 rushes per game. So,
yeah, I can't imagine they're expecting much from him.
I mean, you don't have to.
But if y'all don't get him, I mean, you got Marlon Mack, you got Taylor. I mean, you got the weapons. You really don't need them. So, I mean, I can see why.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? It's funny that I would even remotely say that Todd Gurley would be like an insurance policy just in case Marlon Mack gets hurt. Because, I mean, Marlon Mack has always been hurt, but I mean, when he's not, he runs for 1,000 yards.
Hopefully they can time their injuries out so they're not both injured at the same
Look,
time.
you get hurt from week 1 and 5. I got hurt week from 5.
I'm telling you, if they can pull that off, we are going to the Super Bowl based on their bandaged up legs and all. So that sounds absolutely wonderful.
All right. Well, okay. Well, moving on. Hey, Jack, you got anything going on? Oh, wait, I forgot.
Where's the Jaguars?
Yeah. y'all are teaching Trevor Lawrence what not to do in Jacksonville.
He's probably using that cutting board that everybody bought him.
That electric toaster.
I read an article in the Atlantic about that cutting board.
Oh yeah,
big deal.
Yeah.
I heard it was made with child labor.
I heard he threw it in the trash.
Oh, someone went into labor.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, jumping on to the Titans. Anything real quick, John?
I mean, there's really not a whole lot. Again, we're in that time of year. The only thing I saw is that Caleb Farley may not be ready for preseason, which isn't too much of a surprise. They're still hoping the best. They think maybe just first week of preseason, but there's really not a whole lot. People are pretty quiet. They're just doing their thing.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, he had a back surgery, so
yeah. I mean, we knew he was gonna take time. So I'm anxious to see what he can do and what he can bring to us.
We're gonna play a game real quick before we leave. I'm gonna tell y'all the comments, and you have to tell me as a Jags fan. You have to tell me who it is. Y'all ain't funny, by the way, jerks.
Oh, hello.
Oh.
I'm not gonna say the name. I'm just gonna say that it rhymes with hating ass Pam.
What?
It rhymes with hating ass Pam.
Oh yeah. Is hashtag Team Hank? Is that what you're doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Listen, we're Team Hank all the way. It's just like just because he was abused at home.
For those at home, it was Jalen Ramsey's #1 fan.
Yes.
Samantha Ornette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still is to this day.
In her Jaguars #20 jersey, sitting on the couch, like Jags fans are used to. Yeah. Before we go there, fellas, any last words? No? Yeah, maybe.
Listen, I wasn't too negative today, right?
No. They're gonna not like what you have to say. Just be like, why didn't you talk about Derrick Henry? You're like, come on.
Lord. In the group, it says Mr. Negertron is on. I'm off. I'm getting a petition to get him off the podcast. No more. Why?
Where do I sign?
It just says Facebook user, so it doesn't tell me who said it. But
where do I sign it?
There you
go. Before we go, I know last week we said Matt Everton was coming on this week. He had a real quick family vacation to Hawaii, so he went that instead.
Must be nice.
We're not good enough for his time.
Hey, you know what? I might choose Hawaii over you guys.
I mean,
that is Hawaii, man. I don't blame that, man.
Next Monday, July 19th, we'll have the former Titan, Colts, and Jaguars long snapper on. Again, we're having a Twitter contest, so follow us, share it, retweet it, whatever.
Are we gonna do a fantasy league this year?
We are.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Okay, just so y'all know, they can't hear me when I talk, but Matt mentioned the network.
I was getting that if you give me time. God, man, just like a real woman, just always.
Who you
They
talking
can't
to?
hear me talking, so they think that you're talking to yourself, by the way. So.
Who you talking to, Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
I'm talking to James Ramsey's #1 fan.
Who's that? A ghost? Because nobody likes him. Go ahead.
Never heard of her, right? So yes, like we said last week, we got the offer to join a new network. It's called the Pigskin Network. It's a podcast of a podcast of a podcast. No, but it is a podcast of former agents of the sports world. They're bringing in a whole bunch of new ones. So they're going to give us draft. We're going to be sponsored by DraftKings. So we'll give a little spiel about how you should give DraftKings, your money.
They've taken some of my money, so.
Oh, they've taken me. They've taken a lot of.
They're taking a plane from me.
They've taken a lot of money from me as well. We are going to get Streamlabs or StreamYard. I always get those two mixed up. So it'll be some better stuff. A lot of new stuff. Cool stuff. So, be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a good experience, we hope. Not like.
We're also going to be featured on WDVL.
Yes. Yeah. Woman, would you give me the chance?
Matt, you got to get these psychotic breaks under control.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I wish the voices in your head would type it out so that.
Right.
Or not like Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, you might want to say to everybody, for those that don't know, Sam can talk, but y'all can't hear her.
Yeah, when we got quiet just now, it's because Sam was scolding us.
Yeah, like always.
Yeah.
Like I wish you would give me like a chopping block, like a cutting board where I can read it from. She likes to spend $300 on it, so
get it inscribed.
Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
Imagine walking into a multi-million-dollar house and finding out that some people chipped in and bought you a cutting board. Just be like, what did these peasants get me now?
Ex-Jaguars linebacker Tom McManus helped launch the new app called Relevant. We're going to be featured on there. So make sure you download the app, check us out. With Facebook being Facebook and kicking people out for no reason, we're kind of slowly migrating to that app. So that way we don't get you shut down because, we like to talk crap.
And it's relevant with no A. So it's RELEVNT.
Yes. And the network is going to be brought to you by TPPN. It already has a whole bunch of hockey podcast. John, I know you like hockey, right?
I pretend to.
Oh, you pretend to. Basketball network. So there's a lot of new stuff. Just be on the lookout for it. So, other than that, last words. Sam, are you gonna come back on here and say anything? Yeah, maybe.
Oh wait, they're.
I mean, they can't hear me. But hi, everybody. They can't hear me. They can see my mouth moving, but.
Oh, by the way,
that's disgusting, Sam. Why would you say something like that?
What about Donnie Stingley? What?
Wait. I'm sorry, Sam. What?
Don't talk about Michael Tessmer like that.
Sam, it doesn't matter if you would let Gardner Minshew's head after the mullet cut. I mean, geez, you need to get it together.
I mean,
what would Hank think about that? Hank is a good egg. How dare you?
You said you have Jalen Ramsey's rookie card and signed by him. You sleep by it next to your pillow every night.
No, shut up. All of you.
Did you say that you got on your Jaguar spots tattoo that you have Jalen Ramsey's name inscribed into one of them?
I do have Deshaun Gibson helmet signed. Sad face.
Yeah,
well, I mean that's.
I like him on the Texans too. So.
Yeah.
Sam, any last words from you before we head out?
Oh, just waiting for y'all to finish so I can sign off.
All right. Well, we'll holler at you guys later. Have a good one.
That was a very anticlimactic ending. Like, all right, guys, goodbye.
It's like I've been through the ringer with the Texans. I mean, I know how
that's pretty much synergy. We're gonna have this all this year.
We're still live. If you want to make it better, and I can edit this part out. Go ahead, make it exciting. Sign us off, Chris. Go, and then Justin can sing us off.
All right, fantastic. No, he's not gonna serenade dudes.
Yes.
I mean, that is kind of weird, but I mean,
yeah, especially when you say it like that.
But the arms of an angel.
What is that, Jewel?
I know you have the name Justin, but it's not Justin Timberlake, so you can't serenade me at all. I'm sorry.
Serenade the ladies.
All right.
Ahead, Chris, sign us off, and then.
Well, all right, fantastic. Well, this has been something. All right. So once again, catch us next week. That's going to be Monday, July 19th, when we have Matt Overton, and hopefully he'll be back from Hawaii and not like Flight 828 or some craziness. I've been getting into Manifest, by the way, so if I make references,
don't bring that up because I'm sad that they canceled it. So don't bring that up.
Okay, all right, then we're not gonna make this a stress point for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm already sad enough that I'm Jags 2.0. Okay. So I don't want to be sad anymore.
I had to cover for the Titans before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, now you know how I feel.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, we're signing out. You can find us on the AFC South Fan Battle page, regular Fan Battle. If it has Fan Battle in it, then it's probably ours. And if somebody says otherwise, then they're lying. You can also catch us on Twitter at AFCSF.
Which, by the way, we're at 840, so make sure that you share all of our.
Oh, we can get twice as high.
So we can get to, 1,000 before training camp.
Yes. All right. So on that note, we are now signing out. Everybody have a great night, and whatever you do, do not eat mayonnaise straight out the jar.
Go ahead, sing us off.
Good.
Oh, my rowdy friends are here for Mother Night.
What?
Are you ready for some football?
Oh,
my party. Let's get started. Everybody sitting good, feeling all right. All my brother friends are here for Monday night. Yeah.
Yeah.